right, today we are going to pair up these Powerline bridges. Let me explain why. I have a customer who has a cottage, and they have a shed there, and a shed there, and the cottage is brand new, and they don't want the cameras on the cottage. So both of these sheds are wired to the house, into the electrical panel. So we're just going to use Powerline bridges because if they don't want to see the cameras on the house, they're not going to want to see point-to-points on the house either, because you could use a point to multi-point to accomplish the same thing, but obviously she's not going to want that. So we'll talk about the point-to-points in a later video. We're now going to pair these up and make sure everything's working in the comfort of my shop. That way when I'm on site, if there's any problems, I'm not going to pull my hair out at the customer's house. These are pretty easy to use. It's the first time I've ever used 3. Currently, this building that we're in is about 100 feet from the house, and this internet in this shop is run off of one of these Powerline bridges. And it's been that way for years. They work perfectly fine. It depends how much electrical interference they're going through. They don't work in every application, and sometimes they lose more bandwidth than you'd like to have happen. Because I think I'm on like a 40% drop off in this building from the house, but it doesn't affect anything in here because I've got Starlink, so it's dropping down from like 200 megs down to 100, which who cares? 100 is, well, 50 is more than enough to run anything I'm gonna ever have. The wireless bridges don't have the loss because they don't have the resistance. I just have my laptop here. It's plugged into the internet right now, so I know that the internet is working through this wire. And this is a really old, crappy laptop, but I have it because you can plug into it. So I'm gonna plug into one of them there. And my setup here, I have black plugs and I have beige plugs because that tells me that they're different circuits because I run a lot of power tools in here. So I'm gonna plug one in there. I'm gonna plug one in there. I'm gonna plug one in there just because I don't wanna reverse the polarity there. Okay, let them get on. And now they have these pair buttons on here. So you have to push that in, hold it down, release it, and now it's flashing. So I'm going to do the same thing on this one, and then I'm going to do the same thing on this one. You have 2 minutes to do this. This is why we're not running back and forth between buildings. We're just doing them all very close together. Once they're paired up, then when you go on site, you just plug them in and they will connect automatically. So this one's on, that one's on, that one's still thinking about it. Okay, they're all paired up now. Okay, so we get our 3 lights on. Because this is the one that's plugged in to the internet. These ones you got 2 lights because they are not hooked up. So I'm verifying that my laptop is not hooked up to the Wi-Fi, so I'm not accidentally getting a false reading. Plug in, and hopefully we'll see the little, yep, there we go, connected. So that's what I was at before going through this bridge. So now I'm going through 2 sets of bridges, so my expectations are not high, but we'll see how it comes. As long as it's going through pretty good. So yeah, we're getting about a 50% drop on top of a 50% drop because of going through 2 bridges. This is more than enough for 1 camera each. So yeah, we'll go with that. So let me just verify that the 3rd one is working. So yep, it's gonna be good enough for the job. I am not gonna be filming at the customer's house because of a privacy issue, obviously. But there you go, 3 Powerline bridges hooked on together. I don't know how many you can do all together, probably like half a dozen. Okay, so what application would you use these in? I have one customer, he has a 75-inch TV. His Wi-Fi stopped working on the TV. So I put one of these, hooked it up to his router in the basement, and then I plugged it in behind the TV and plugged it, hardwired it into the TV, and that solved the problem. In my house, I have everything hardwired. If I didn't have access to being able to run the wires, I could plug one in at my router in the basement, and then I could plug one in whatever room I wanted there to be one in. Because my computer's hardwired in, the camera guy's computer's hardwired in. So there is a few applications, especially for people that are gaming. If you want to hook up their gaming console to it, hardwired, that's how you would do it rather than using the Wi-Fi. They work really great as long as they don't go through too much electrical stuff. I haven't had any trouble in residential applications except for if the garage has a ton of power going into it. That's the only time I've ever had trouble with them. And obviously it has to be on the same electrical service. So if you have a shop on your property and it's on a different electrical service, it's not going to work. You're going to have to use a point-to-point. Depending on which ones you get, those things can work up to several kilometers as long as you can see it. I'll talk about it in a later video, but I have hooked them up going from a cottage 2 kilometers out to an island, to another cottage, but you can see it right across the water. So they're definitely great too. Anyway, I think that's it for this one. So let me know if you guys have used them and how they work out for you. Okay, so thanks for watching. So please like, subscribe, help us build this new channel that we have. And if you're interested in woodworking, then go to our other channel, which we'll link over there. I don't know what the guy's going to link below there, but he'll figure something out. Once we get our Amazon affiliate links, we'll put them in the description below, but because this channel is so new, at the time we're filming this, we don't have the affiliate links for this channel yet.